as you see, these views have gotten way out of control. They were about 3 foot high when my dad planted them. It's typical of any suburban yard these days. All the undergrowth here, that's all invasive. There's not a scrap of flora here on this property that's native, starting with the Kentucky bluegrass. We're only now finding out what the consequences of planting things that shouldn't be there are. We've lost 1% of our songbirds every year since 1964 globally, and certainly locally we're seeing that. Our bugs have vanished, and therefore our birds have vanished. The science is saying that we don't have enough open space left to preserve our local critters from extinction. And so what we need to do, what we're obliged to do, is to create habitat on our own properties, and that's what this project's about. And the project is to strip the entire property of non-native plants. I want to prove by example. My goal is to make this so beautiful that people have to rethink how they do their own yards. The 40 trees and the 1,500 plants that we're putting on this 0.4 of an acre here ought to draw up a lot of water, which is very important down here by the Great South Bay when your basement moves with the tides.
You need to kind of work with the natural currents that are here. During a storm, it's going to rush past your driveway, get clipped in here where you have this bioswale. The bioswale would drain into this big infiltration pit. So we'll just keep going along here, giving a little bit of room from the side so we can put plantings in front of the trench. This natural low area.
Oh yeah, it was caused by the flooding.
Yeah, this is the infiltration pit anyway. We're going to dig it out as a square.
We'll figure out soon enough what can survive in there.
We're also going to we're going to trench from your leader on the corner over here, your downspout, and have perforated pipe in the ground. So it'll slowly trickle into the ground as we go, and then there'll be an outspout here into the infiltration pit. The day we put the stormwater infrastructure in, it'll be pretty darn effective, but that's the day it's at its most weak. As the plants continue to mature, the root systems become more and more dense and fibrous. Given how robust the plantings that we're going to have in here, I imagine most of the stormwater will just disappear into your lawn.
Our mission here at the nursery is to grow native plants for projects that are focused on ecological restoration. Any naturalized area where plant material is needed is an opportunity for us, making sure that the ecology is correct for the long-term success of all species on the planet, basically. The beauty of the native plants and the local indigenous species that we have here is they've been evolving with the planet. What we're just trying to do is protect what Mother Nature has already provided us. We got some foam flower here. This is Tirarella. This is a really nice shade-tolerant plant, native plant. A little bit of a broader based native area for this plant. This is some Joe Pye weed that we're growing. This is a flat right here of wild bergamot. This is Monarda fistulosa. In a tray like this, there's 50 individual cells, 5 rows by 10 rows, by 5 inches deep. So 50 plants. And this is kind of the genesis of the operation. But we do some field crops as well, such as eastern red cedar, white pine, northern bayberry. Northern bayberry checks a lot of the boxes for us. So it's salt tolerant, it's very xeric, very water-wise type of a plant. But this is a field that at this point is ready for harvest. These plants should all move between this fall and next spring. It's a great wildlife plant. The birds eat the berries, so you can actually see some young fruit on this plant right now, and they have like a waxy coating on them that helps protect the fruit, and the birds will digest it and disperse the seed, and that's the way that the plant gets around naturally.
today we're unloading the plants. Honestly, it's a little bit like Christmas morning to me every time. These are red maples. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trees. Drought tolerant, stormwater superpower. It's so fun. I love to look at what it's gonna be. My wife, Kristen, is the one who is really good with the design.
Where are the purple ones first?
We didn't get them because Matt suggested against it. It's really hay-scented fern, goldenrod. What, baby? That is yours. You're gonna help us out.
We want some amount of privacy screening, and the bayberries are really nice because they get tall and really bushy. I want to create almost like a very opened U shape. I also want the shape of it to sort of have a little bit of an arch so there's a natural seating area that fans out so it gets more incorporated into the feel of the rest of the yard. Just check me on the actual spacing of them apart.
Yeah, they're fine. They'll kind of grow into like a hedge almost.
Yeah, I want them to grow together.
Are you okay with this beech tree right here?
Yes, can we push it a little bit closer to the shed?
And here's where, you know, Marshall's gonna have like a nice little fire pit area, and it'll add a sense of place, you know, be a place to kind of retreat. So you come along here, walk past the pollinator garden, walk past all these beautiful woody plantings, and then you have your whole arbor of bayberry right here. One of my by far favorite plants, as far as shrubs go, this is beach plum, Prunus maritima. It pops this beautiful white color early spring. It's early pollinator stuff. When they're buzzing around looking for something, this is what they find very quickly. And then it fruits. That's the fun thing, you can make an awesome jam out of it. It grows in rocky soil and like straight sand. So you see this stuff right here, it's gonna be really happy. A lot of these designs I see, they concentrate on the little stuff, and the little stuff is objectively beautiful and fun. But I'm most interested when I do a job is to put in the big stuff. The big stuff is really the infrastructure that you want to work in. We're kind of reinventing the lawn. We're making it back into a yard. Goodness, this is going to be popping with life. There's going to be a natural buffer here of plants and trees, and it's just going to absolutely look gorgeous.
How do we fix the planet? 1 yard at a time. And so here we are. This is ground zero for the remaking of the Suburban yard.
If we could just have everybody on this block designate a 5x5 patch, suddenly this block turns into habitat. And this habitat, it scales up, and everybody can make a big difference by doing just a little bit.
This is in a large sense about sustainability. All these trees here, this native biome will continue to fill in and integrate all these different types of plants that in nature belong together. By design, this will all knit together. All the root systems of all these different trees and plants will become as one. That's what we talk about when we talk about a biome. This whole yard will be, in a sense, one giant living thing. They're just babies. I mean, this is going to, over the coming years, just really take over. This will be like 8 foot high and really start to soak up all the extra rainwater. But as it is, you know, we get, you know, an inch in a half hour, and boom, you know, it takes care of it. We need to have people become good local stewards of their properties and of their communities. I think we're at potentially a moment of great awakening.
Barefoot in the sands of time. Dandelion, rewind. Let's go make some dandelion. Refrain, reflect, rewind.